Beneath the broad emerald canopy of the lowland Amazon, the light fractures into mosaics. Gold flecks on wet leaves, trembling mirrors on the forest floor. The air is humid enough to bead and roll down the backs of bromeliads, their rosettes holding rainwater like glass bowls suspended in the air. Here, amid the dripping architecture of leaves and vines, moves a creature so small it could vanish in a curled petal's shadow, and yet it burns brighter than almost anything else alive. A poison dart frog, impossibly vivid, like a shard of tropical glass, cobalt, lemon, scarlet, or some hybrid of impossible hues. It doesn't crawl so much as announce itself, a spark of danger stitched into the green. That radiance is no accident. Evolution carved it with exquisite precision, generation after generation, through trial, toxin, and near miss. Its skin gleams with alkaloids stolen from the bodies of its prey, tiny mites, ants, and beetles that themselves are toxic through the plants and fungi they eat. The frog transforms these borrowed molecules into chemical armor, packing its tissues with lipophilic poisons potent enough to stop a predator's heart in seconds. But most predators never even test the taste. For them, color is enough, the flag that says, "Don't even try." In the rainforest, color is currency. For the poison dart frog, it buys safety. But what kind of economy is it running? The brightest individuals, research shows, don't necessarily carry the highest chemical load. Some rely on what biologists call honest dishonesty, bright signaling backed by only trace amounts of toxin, microdoses that would barely inconvenience a snake or bird. These frogs are gamblers in the evolutionary marketplace, spending less on the costly chemistry of defense and, instead, cashing in on the psychological memory of predators. A tanager or jacamar that once tasted a lethal cousin will flinch at anything remotely similar. The deterrent lies not in the poison itself, but in the collective lesson the ecosystem has already learned. A camera could linger here, close on the skin's texture, each pore glistening like a polished gem, the faint ripple of the frog's throat as it calls. The sound is almost comical in its smallness, a soft trill that rides over the deeper drone of cicadas and tree crickets. Yet beneath that quiet pulse lies an entire evolutionary thesis: visibility as survival. Every pigment molecule, every neural cue in a predator's brain forms a living feedback loop, a co-evolutionary dialogue between those who risk being seen and those who risk hunger. Predators are not fools. Over time, some species test the signal cautiously. Young snakes or birds, without the inherited caution of experience, may strike once. Most regret it. In controlled field trials using decoy models, scientists found that replicas painted in high saturation hues were attacked far less often than duller counterparts, even when none contained any chemical deterrent. Brightness alone, it turns out, can rewrite behavior. The jungle becomes a network of learned taboos, reinforced by memory, taste, and pain. But brightness is energy, and energy in the forest is expensive. Producing pigments, maintaining vivid skin, and standing out against every conceivable background all exact metabolic costs. So the question becomes, how much warning is enough? Too faint and the message fails. Too bold, and you draw eyes you never needed. This is where the cheap signal theory enters, a concept borrowed from evolutionary game theory. A frog that invests just enough to look poisonous, but not enough to be poisonous, saves energy without losing much protection. It rides the reputational credit of its deadlier kin. Over time, such freeloaders form a spectrum, from truly toxic to merely convincing. The rainforest runs on these subtle lies. Zoom out, and the scene becomes ecological theatre. Ants crawling over leaf litter. A line of leafcutter workers dragging emerald fragments past a puddle where two-dart frogs flash like jewels. Sunlight spears through the canopy in soft columns, scattering across wet soil. The frogs freeze as a shadow sweeps over them, a tanager perhaps, scouting. The bird hesitates. Its brain runs the old code, bright equals bad. It veers away, energy saved for both. The frog lives another day without spending a molecule more than necessary. The bird avoids a mouthful of pain. Still, nothing in the forest remains static. As generations pass, mimicry spirals into complexity. Some non-toxic species, like the harmless Alobates zaparo, adopt nearly identical color patterns to their toxic cousins, a phenomenon known as Batesian mimicry. These imposters blur the line even further, diluting the meaning of brightness across the ecosystem. Predators, uncertain now, become less responsive to the signal. That in turn pressures the truly toxic species to intensify their hues once again, a feedback loop of deception and escalation that never truly ends. The rainforest, seen through this lens, is not a static field of species, but a living arms race of perception. Under laboratory lights, the chemistry becomes clearer. Alkaloid levels fluctuate seasonally, tracking changes in diet. Frogs collected in areas where leaf litter is rich with certain arthropods show spikes in defensive compounds. When relocated and fed a toxin-free diet, their chemical defenses wane, but their colors remain, at least for a while. Evolution moves slowly compared to chemistry. What we see then is a ghost of past danger, a visual echo of toxicity long spent, yet the predators still heed it. Brightness, in this context, is not vanity. It is information, a language written in wavelengths, one that speaks directly to the sensory bias of others. Birds see into the ultraviolet, snakes sense heat, mammals rely on contrast. To each, the frog's pattern reads differently. What we perceive as a single color signal is, in truth, a multi-layered broadcast across multiple sensory channels. A hawk's eye might catch the flash from 20 meters. A snake, blind to color but sharp to motion, ignores it entirely. The effectiveness of the warning is audience-dependent, and the jungle is full of audiences. When the rains fall, the forest shifts into another register. Pools overflow, bromeliads brim, and new generations of frogs rise from jelly-coated eggs. The bright adults scatter, calling and courting. Their colors are now more than just defense. They become signals in their own species' courtship rituals, helping individuals identify compatible mates among dozens of similar-looking species. Even here, brightness saves energy, not by repelling but by attracting the right attention, reducing wasted effort in the crowded, noisy theater of the Amazon night. So when we ask, does brightness save energy? The answer is layered. Yes, by reducing attacks, by leveraging the memory of others, by offloading the cost of actual toxicity. But also no, because it locks the species into an evolutionary treadmill where standing still means being overtaken by imposters and ignored by predators. The poison dart frog's colors are not a final design. They are an ongoing negotiation with the forest around it, one that balances chemistry, perception, and survival. In the final frame, imagine a leaf trembling under a raindrop's weight. The frog perches there, still as enamel, its reflection rippling faintly on the water's surface. It is both vulnerable and invincible, a creature whose very visibility has become its armor. In a world built on hunger and deception, this is one of evolution's quiet miracles, that the act of being seen, when done just right, can be the safest place to hide. In the dim half-light beneath the rainforest canopy, color becomes a weapon of persuasion. The forest floor is dark and soft, a patchwork of leaf litter, roots, and the slow decay of centuries, yet through it slides a pulse of warning that no creature can mistake. Red, yellow, black. A rhythm written in rings, pulsing across scales like the signal code of an ancient language. The coral snake is here, gliding through shadow as if dragging the caution tape of evolution itself. Its pattern is almost too vivid to belong in this environment of camouflage and shadow play. Most rainforest animals try to vanish. The coral snake does the opposite. Its brilliance is not camouflage but advertisement, a visual broadcast meant for any predator with eyes to see. Those colors say, "Remember me, don't try again." The message is backed by reality, a venom so neurotoxic that a single bite can paralyze the diaphragm and silence the lungs. Yet for all its potency, the coral snake is no aggressor. It is shy, secretive, and quick to retreat underground. The bright rings are not about attack, but preemptive diplomacy, a truce enforced by reputation. But the forest is an opportunist's market, where one species earns safety through fear, others soon counterfeit the design. Enter the mimics, king snakes, milk snakes, and false corals, each wearing near-identical bands, each harmless. They have learned to borrow the coral snake's language without paying its chemical cost. To a predator's eye, the difference is negligible. To the snake, it's survival at a discount. What unfolds here is an evolutionary economy, a marketplace of honesty, deceit, and recognition shaped by billions of neural decisions in the brains of would-be predators. In this economy, the coral snake is the gold standard, the one that makes the signal meaningful. But every mimic dilutes that value, adding noise to the system. The rule is simple. When too many imposters flood the market, predators stop believing the signal. Bright rings no longer guarantee danger. They might just mean fraud. Scientists call it a Batesian breakdown, when mimicry becomes so common that it undermines the very protection it once exploited. The mimicry arms race becomes a paradox. By imitating the dangerous, the harmless endanger the model. Picture the scene through the camera's lens. A leaf-strewn clearing after rain. The light is soft, diffused by mist. A mimic slides through, its red and yellow bands catching the glint of filtered sunlight. Moments later, a predator, a small coati or tanager, notices the motion. It pauses. Memory and instinct lock in battle. The bird's brain runs the pattern recognition program honed over millennia. Red, black, yellow, danger. But it's seen others like this before, some harmless, some not. The cost of guessing wrong is death. The cost of hesitation is hunger. The forest holds its breath. Then, slowly, the bird turns away. False or real, the signal has done its work. Fear still holds value. This uneasy equilibrium defines one of the most intricate behavioral negotiations in nature. Field experiments have shown that the power of mimicry fluctuates with geography. In areas where true coral snakes are rare, predators eventually learn that most ringed serpents are bluffing, and they attack more often. In regions dense with the real thing, the signal regains credibility. The coral snake's safety, therefore, depends on the regional memory of its enemies, a collective awareness distributed across generations and species. The rainforest, in effect, becomes a vast unconscious brain, storing and updating knowledge about what to avoid. Yet the coral snake itself is not static. Over evolutionary time, its pattern changes subtly from one population to the next. Red to yellow ratios, band widths, ring counts. Each variant tests a slightly different strategy in the eyes of its local predators. Mimics too evolve in parallel, chasing the accuracy of the illusion. Some even surpass it, becoming more vivid than the model they copy. At a glance, their deception looks perfect, but perfection carries risk. Too obvious a copy, and the system collapses. A few biologists propose that coral snakes benefit from this confusion, that mimics, by multiplying the warning signal across the landscape, actually strengthen its reach. Even when the ratio of liars to truth-tellers grows high, the general avoidance it creates may shield both. Here, then, is the paradox that defines this chapter. Can a liar protect the original? In theory, yes. The mimic amplifies the alarm, broadcasting the coral snake's reputation far beyond what the real species alone could sustain. Predators, overwhelmed by similar warnings, become cautious of all red and yellow bands, regardless of authenticity. The forest becomes collectively safer for any creature that shares the pattern. What was once a form of fraud evolves into a kind of distributed defense network, an ecological alliance built on shared deception. The system holds not because it's honest, but because it's efficient. In the close-up, the camera might track the coral snake's movement, smooth, deliberate, almost weightless. Its head barely rises from the leaf litter, tongue flicking to read invisible scent trails. The black bands act like punctuation marks across its body, breaking the light into flashes as it moves. Each motion is part of a rhythm, a living Morse code of warning that predates written language. This is nature's syntax, pattern as grammar, color as sentence. And like any language, it's vulnerable to misinterpretation. At the behavioral level, predators make split-second judgments. Experiments using clay replicas, some painted in coral snake colors, others in plain brown, reveal that attacks drop dramatically on the bright forms, even when no chemical defense is present. The brain, it seems, errs on the side of safety, but this aversion fades quickly if the signal loses consistency. When too many mimics drift from the original pattern, bands too thick, too thin, wrong sequence, predators relearn through trial. The price of one false assumption is death, but so is starvation through overcaution. Evolution balances between those extremes like a pendulum. Ecologically, the coral snake sits at a peculiar intersection, both predator and prey, both model and myth. It hunts small lizards, frogs, and other snakes with precision strikes, yet lives its entire life wrapped in the currency of fear it rarely needs to spend. Its success is measured not in kills, but in non-encounters, in all the attacks that never happen because its story was already known. Meanwhile, its mimics thrive under the same umbrella, freeloaders on an ancient reputation. This relationship, though parasitic in theory, may in practice be symbiotic. The more eyes that learn to avoid the pattern, the more universal the protection becomes. The forest itself enforces the lesson. Every failed predation is a data point written into its collective memory. Each mimic spared reinforces the visual taboo. And so, over time, the market stabilizes, the real and the fake bound together in a shared illusion that keeps both alive. Yet this balance is delicate. Remove too many real coral snakes, and the signal loses power. Predators begin to test the colors again. Conservationists now understand that even these elusive serpents play a vital role in maintaining ecological communication networks. Protecting the genuine article means protecting the code itself. In the end, the coral snake is less a single species than a principle. Proof that danger can be advertised, outsourced, and even imitated without collapsing into chaos. It shows that truth and lies in nature are not opposites, but codependent forces. The mimic's deceit reinforces the model's fame. The model's reality sustains the mimic's bluff. And somewhere between those two, the rainforest learns, through repetition, memory, and consequence, what not to touch. As dusk falls, the camera pans low across the leaf litter. A soft rustle, a flicker of color. The rings vanish into shadow, leaving only the impression of movement, a visual echo that lingers in the viewer's mind long after the snake is gone. The forest resumes its hum, unaware that within its patterns, a living algorithm of fear and fraud continues to write itself anew. In this silent, shimmering exchange between truth and imitation, life discovers a deeper equilibrium, one where even the liar, in the end, helps preserve the legend of danger. The forest wakes in a shimmer of vapor and motion. Dew collects like glass beads on the veins of broad tropical leaves, and every twig trembles with the weight of unseen movement. This is the canopy's slow machinery, a network of mouths and disguises, of creatures that eat and are eaten. Among them, a small procession advances along a leaf edge, caterpillars, cloaked not in camouflage, but in a dangerous kind of honesty. Each one bristles with barbed hairs that shimmer like fine glass filaments, arranged in symmetrical tufts along their backs. In the diffuse morning light they seem soft, even delicate, until the camera moves closer and reveals the truth. Those hairs are hollow syringes, connected to venom glands that exude a chemical mix potent enough to inflame skin, blind the eyes, or even cause hemorrhaging in larger animals. They are the rainforest's quiet lesson in consequence, a warning written in miniature anatomy. Most animals spend their lives trying not to be noticed. The venomous caterpillar does the opposite. Its protection lies not in disappearance but in memory. Each one relies on an inherited rumor, the collective recollection of pain carried in the neural pathways of everything that ever tried to eat one. The bright warning colors, the bristling silhouette, the deliberate slowness of movement, all are parts of a single advertisement. The message is simple: touch me once, and you will never forget. In the film of the forest's daily transactions, this plays out like an ancient market of experience. A bird, a young tanager or oropendula perhaps, spots a caterpillar coiled neatly along a leaf midrib. To its untrained eyes it looks like easy prey, slow, soft, defenseless. The first attempt is almost always the same: a quick dart, a grasp of the beak, a recoil. The bird drops the caterpillar instantly, shaking its head, rubbing its beak against a branch. Invisible to us, thousands of microscopic spines have lodged into the soft tissue of its mouth. The reaction is chemical and immediate. Histamines surge, pain flares, a burning lesson etched into memory. That bird may live another 10 years, but it will never again strike something that looks remotely like that caterpillar. Evolution has built the insect's entire strategy around that single moment of regret. The venom itself is a complex cocktail: peptides, enzymes, and irritant compounds that vary from species to species. The South American Lonomia obliqua, the infamous assassin caterpillar, produces toxins so potent they interfere with blood clotting, leading to internal bleeding in humans. Others rely on milder irritants that merely punish the touch, not end the life. What unites them all is the efficiency of the design. The spines are not for killing, but for teaching. They enforce memory through pain. In doing so, they outsource survival to the predator's nervous system. Once learned, the rule perpetuates itself through generations. Field experiments reveal this relationship in quantifiable terms. Researchers in the Amazon have placed non-toxic, hairless models of caterpillars alongside their bristled counterparts, exposing both to the attention of wild birds. The results show a dramatic difference between first and second encounters. On the first day, the birds strike freely. By the second, after just one unpleasant experience, attacks on the spiny models plummet by more than 80%. The forest learns quickly. The cost of education, a single sting, a single wasted meal, is small compared to the long-term savings. What begins as individual conditioning becomes a cultural inheritance passed through imitation and avoidance. To the caterpillar, this one-touch reputation is everything. But like all reputations, it requires upkeep. Producing venom costs energy, amino acids diverted from growth, resources stolen from future metamorphosis. Each spine is a tiny factory of deterrence, grown anew with every molt. The caterpillar must balance this investment against the odds of being attacked. In dense predator communities, high toxicity pays dividends. In safer habitats, the same energy might be better spent on faster growth or thicker silk. Evolution negotiates the terms continuously. Every lineage finds its own equilibrium between chemical warfare and metabolic thrift. At a larger scale, the caterpillar's strategy mirrors a broader law of rainforest life. That information, once earned, can circulate faster and more efficiently than any individual organism. The forest's intelligence is distributed, not conscious, but cumulative. 1,000 separate acts of pain form a shared database of recognition. This is why even species that have never directly encountered a venomous caterpillar may still avoid them. Pattern recognition bridges experience. Bright colors, bristling textures, slow, undulating movement all become shorthand for danger. But as in any marketplace of fear, counterfeiters emerge. Some harmless caterpillars evolve to mimic the look of their venomous cousins, tufts of inert hairs, warning colors without the chemical truth beneath. They gamble on the same principle that protects poison dart frogs and coral snakes, that no predator will risk testing the difference. For a time, this mimicry works. Yet the system can wobble. Too many fakes and predators relearn curiosity. The value of the warning depreciates. Pain must occasionally be reissued for the signal to retain meaning. And so, in a strange twist, the survival of the harmless depends on the suffering inflicted by the dangerous. The ecosystem's equilibrium is maintained not through peace, but through periodic reminders. From a camera's perspective, this drama unfolds in exquisite slow motion. A caterpillar arches along a vine, its body rippling with hydraulic precision, each proleg gripping and releasing like a wave of suction. A breeze stirs the hairs, catching stray beams of sunlight that ignite their tips in spectral halos. Behind it, a shadow flickers. A bird again, tentative, remembering. It flutters close but does not strike. The camera holds the frame as the caterpillar continues undisturbed, the forest whispering its approval. In that hesitation, we see the power of learned restraint, the economy of pain translated into behavior. To understand how much a good reputation costs, we must see beyond the individual. The caterpillar's body is a temporary scaffold. It will soon dissolve within a chrysalis, its tissues broken down and rebuilt into an entirely different being. The venom, the spines, the fear they inspired, all are discarded once metamorphosis begins. And yet the memory they created persists, shaping predator behavior long after the insect itself has transformed or died. The cost, then, is not just metabolic but existential, an entire life stage designed not for reproduction but for education. The caterpillar spends its days teaching the forest what not to touch, and in exchange earns the right to become something else. From a human vantage, this seems extravagant, to invest so much in defense that disappears the moment it succeeds. But nature's accounting runs deeper. The adult moth or butterfly owes its existence to the collective terror its larval form inspired. Each sting written into the rainforest's memory becomes an inheritance for the next generation. The caterpillar's pain, its chemical artistry, is the down payment on the safety of its descendants. As twilight falls, the canopy shifts again. The birds grow quiet. Nocturnal hunters, bats, rodents, small marsupials, take their turn. Many of them hunt by scent rather than sight, and for them, the warning must come another way. The caterpillar's hairs carry not only venom, but odor, faint, acrid, unmistakable. Even in darkness, the message remains, approach at your peril. It is the rainforest's unwritten contract, renewed nightly between hunger and survival. In the final sequence, the lens closes in on a single droplet of dew resting on the caterpillar's back. Beneath its surface, magnified, the barbed hairs stand like a forest within a forest, translucent towers tipped with invisible danger. The droplet trembles, falls, and the caterpillar continues its slow procession toward the underside of a leaf, where it will anchor itself for metamorphosis. It has never known the meaning of its own defense, never witnessed the panic it causes, yet it carries within its fragile body a principle older than sight itself, that pain, once learned, can echo far beyond the creature that caused it. In that sense, the venomous caterpillar offers one of evolution's most elegant truths. Fear can be manufactured, memory can be inherited, and reputation, though costly, can become the most enduring form of armor. The understory of the rainforest hums with invisible violence. Every leaf trembles with activity. Tiny hunts, ambushes, escapes, the constant arithmetic of survival. To most eyes, it's chaos. But for one small predator, the chaos is structured, predictable, and perfectly timed. Moving with the patience of a surgeon, the assassin bug creeps forward across a branch, its segmented legs gripping the bark like articulated tweezers. From this angle, its silhouette could be mistaken for that of a leaf's vein or a splinter of debris. Yet beneath that stillness lies one of nature's most specialized weapons, a mouth built not to chew, but to pierce, probe, and dissolve. The assassin bug's proboscis, or rostrum, looks delicate, almost ornamental. But in truth, it is a high-pressure injection system sheathed in a jointed casing that can flex, bend, and aim with unerring precision. Inside run twin canals, one for delivering venom, the other for siphoning liquefied prey. When the bug strikes, it does not bite, it stabs. A fraction of a second, a puncture, and chemistry takes over where force leaves off. In a world ruled by teeth and claws, the assassin bug has refined predation into molecular warfare. Watch through the lens of a high-speed camera and you see what the naked eye cannot. The sudden extension of the rostrum, a whip-fast jab that lands squarely on a caterpillar's flank. The victim stiffens, then slackens. The bug pauses, motionless again, as if waiting for the venom to speak. Within seconds, the caterpillar's internal tissues begin to liquefy. The venom isn't simply paralytic, it's enzymatic, breaking down muscle and connective tissue into a drinkable slurry. The predator then retracts slightly, aligns the rostrum and begins to draw, a smooth siphoning motion, the body of its prey slowly collapsing inward as if deflating from the inside. What remains is an empty skin, a biological husk, all structure, no substance. This hunting method is astonishingly efficient. Where teeth and claws rely on brute force, the assassin bug uses precision engineering. The venom acts as both weapon and utensil, sparing the insect from the energy cost of mechanical feeding. Each injection delivers just enough compound to subdue the target and liquefy what's needed. No more, no less. Biologists call this the puncture site economy. The bug's entire survival strategy hinges on minimizing expenditure, minimal venom, minimal struggle, maximal yield. It is the rainforest's economist of predation. Yet this precision evolved under pressure. The assassin bug's ancestors were generalist feeders, opportunists that preyed on smaller arthropods. Over millions of years, chemical innovation allowed them to expand their reach, not by growing larger, but by growing smarter at the molecular level. Today, some species tackle prey several times their size: spiders, wasps, even small frogs. Their venom's potency varies depending on the target, suggesting an adaptive control, an ability to tailor dosage to the resistance encountered. The proboscis too has diversified, its tip evolving into fine serrations that anchor it in place during injection, preventing the prey from escaping mid-stab. In the dim humidity beneath a fallen log, one species, Celeopus sp, demonstrates this mastery in miniature. A beetle stumbles across its path. The assassin bug freezes, measuring the opportunity. Then, with a silent lunge, the rostrum connects. The beetle thrashes violently, but within seconds the spasms slow. Venom enzymes are already dissolving the beetle's internal matrix, converting muscle fiber into fluid. The bug waits, legs poised in a rigid stance that resembles patience, but is, in truth, calibration, sensing pressure changes through the rostrum that tell it when digestion is complete. Only then does it begin to feed. In less than 2 minutes, it will have consumed the equivalent of its own body weight. The assassin bug's weapon is not limited to hunting. In some species, the same proboscis serves as a defense mechanism against much larger attackers. A frog that attempts to swallow one finds itself impaled from the inside, the bug stabbing through the soft tissue of the mouth and injecting venom directly into its predator. It's an audacious counterattack, one that has turned many would-be predators into educators, spreading learned aversion across generations. The frog, if it survives, never forgets. The forest learns again through pain. The question arises, can a needle truly replace teeth? In evolutionary terms, yes, and in some cases, it can surpass them. Teeth require strength and maintenance. They dull and break. A needle can be replaced at each molt, perfected anew. Where jaws depend on leverage, the proboscis uses physics, capillary action and pressure gradients to draw nutrients without waste. The assassin bug's mouth has become a biochemical lab on legs, capable of digesting from the outside in. It's the inversion of predation, digestion before ingestion. The efficiency of this system has inspired more than biological curiosity. Microengineers study the rostrum structure to design better hypodermic needles, its serrated microstructure allowing painless penetration by reducing tissue deformation. The bug's enzyme blend, too, fascinates pharmacologists for its ability to dissolve specific proteins without damaging others, a molecular precision that medicine struggles to replicate. In the assassin bug, evolution has converged on the same design principles human technology still chases: efficiency, minimalism, and control. Yet such sophistication comes with trade-offs. The bug's reliance on chemical weaponry means it must constantly manage its metabolic reserves. Venom production is costly, and using too much can leave it defenseless until the glands replenish. When food is scarce, the bug must gamble. Is this target worth the dose? Studies show that assassin bugs often test prey before injecting fully, delivering a shallow stab that immobilizes without total commitment. If the prey proves too strong or unpalatable, it's abandoned, the venom conserved. Each stab, each droplet, is an evolutionary investment decision. There is also the matter of accuracy. The proboscis, though lethal, is fragile. A misdirected jab can break or clog it, leaving the bug unable to feed. This has led to an extraordinary refinement of motor control. Neurophysiological studies reveal sensory hairs at the base of the rostrum that detect vibrations as subtle as a heartbeat. The bug feels its prey's internal motion before the stab even lands, adjusting trajectory in microseconds. No teeth, however sharp, can achieve such intimacy. Zooming out, the assassin bug fits into the forest's greater web as both predator and regulator. By preying on herbivorous insects, it indirectly protects plant life, acting as an invisible gardener of the ecosystem. Yet it too is hunted by birds, lizards, and larger arthropods. Some species counter this by decorating their bodies with the corpses of their victims, stacking exoskeletons into grotesque armor that conceals their scent and shape. It is the ultimate recycling of threat, using death as disguise. At night, when the air thickens with humidity and sound, the assassin bug's world sharpens. The vibrations of moth wings or beetle legs echo through the leaves like a sonar map. The bug waits at the center of this invisible web, rostrum angled downward, antennae quivering. When contact comes, the strike is instantaneous, a perfect union of mechanics and chemistry executed with the calm precision of an organism that has nothing to prove. In the rainforest's long ledger of adaptations, the assassin bug occupies a quiet but remarkable line. It demonstrates that power need not come from size, that lethality can emerge from finesse. Its needle does not tear or crush, it solves. Each meal is a chemical equation written and balanced through evolution's patient mathematics. So, can a needle replace teeth? The answer hums in the stillness after the strike. In a world that rewards efficiency over spectacle, the assassin bug's method is not just replacement, it is refinement. The forest's most elegant predators are not always the largest, nor the loudest, but those who understand that life and death can be decided through a single puncture, perfectly placed and precisely measured. Night falls in gradients, violet, then indigo, then the deep, matte black of full darkness. In that darkness, a web becomes a map of invisible architecture, trembling with the pulse of every passing breeze. The strands stretch between the stems of dry grass, the angles irregular, asymmetrical, as if built by accident. But this is no disorder. This is the web of the black widow, designed not for beauty, but for information. Each thread is a channel, each tremor a message. Where most hunters rely on sight or speed, she listens. The widow waits upside down, legs spread in perfect symmetry, black body barely discernible against the shadows. Her iconic hourglass glows a faint red beneath the abdomen like an ember hidden in silk. She does not move, yet she is in constant communication with her world, the web acting as an extension of her senses. When something touches the silk, a vibration races across the network at hundreds of meters per second. The spider doesn't need to see or even move to know everything about the disturbance. Its size, weight, struggle, even the fatigue of the prey's movements. Each frequency translates into meaning. A small rapid pulse might mean a gnat or an ant, unworthy of effort. A slower, heavier beat might mean a beetle, a moth, or something far better, a trapped fly full of fat and hemolymph. The web, in effect, thinks. It's not conscious, of course, but it functions like a decision matrix, filtering information before the spider ever acts. Through her 8 legs, the widow reads the frequency signatures of motion and converts them into choices: attack, ignore, or cut loose. Studies using vibration simulators have shown that she distinguishes not just by amplitude, but by rhythm, the cadence of struggle that reveals a creature's size, weight, and threat level. This sensory intelligence saves immense energy. For a small spider with limited metabolic reserves, every strike must count. When the right signal comes, the shift is immediate. The widow jerks forward with astonishing precision, tracing the exact vector of vibration. Her fangs sink in, injecting a neurotoxic venom that shuts down muscle control within seconds. The prey stiffens, twitching once before silence. Then she wraps it, not delicately but brutally, spinning the body in silk, suspending it like a blackened chrysalis. Each wrap adds another layer of insulation, protecting her from retaliation or contamination. Later, when hunger calls, she'll puncture the parcel and drink, drawing liquefied tissues through the same fang canals that once delivered venom. The efficiency here borders on mechanical perfection. In the ecosystem's grand design, the black widow occupies a narrow niche, an energy accountant in a world of reckless spenders. Where jumping spiders waste calories in pursuit, or orb weavers rebuild vast symmetrical webs each night, the widow conserves. Her tangle web is a permanent structure, maintained rather than remade, tuned and calibrated rather than replaced. It's not a trap in the simple sense. It's a sensory array, a distributed nervous system that extends her body's awareness outward into the world. In some ways, the web is her body, an externalized network of perception and control. Imagine this system from above. A camera pans down over a moonlit clearing, tracing the silk's geometry. The lines catch the faint light, turning into a luminous lattice. Tiny beads of dew vibrate with each passing gust, glimmering like a field of stars. Somewhere at the center, a signal starts, a trapped moth beating its wings. The oscillations propagate through the web, refracted through junctions and anchor points, modulated by tension and distance. By the time they reach the spider, they've been translated into data. Her brain, though barely larger than a poppy seed, can read these vibrations with astonishing granularity. She knows not just that something struggles, but what it is, how large, how far, and whether it's worth the risk. The web becomes a decision tree, and the spider merely the terminal node that executes its conclusion. This partnership between organism and structure represents a kind of evolutionary outsourcing. The spider doesn't compute all possibilities internally. She lets physics do some of the thinking. The silk itself filters out irrelevant signals, dissipating wind-induced tremors while amplifying the frequencies associated with prey. In this way, the web functions like an analog computer, a machine that processes data through its very architecture. Every strand's thickness, tension, and angle has been fine-tuned by natural selection to create an optimized sensory field. When researchers measure these vibrations in the lab, they find that even the arrangement of attachment points can change how efficiently information travels. It is not random. It is designed by evolution, perfected through millions of experiments written in silk. Venom, too, fits neatly into this calculus. The Black Widow's neurotoxin, toxin, targets presynaptic neurons, forcing the release of neurotransmitters in a fatal flood. For insects, it's a death sentence. For larger animals, it's agony, enough to deter even seasoned predators like birds and small mammals. Yet the widow rarely uses it against anything she doesn't intend to eat. Venom is precious, metabolically costly, and she conserves it just as she does silk. When danger looms, say a larger spider or a wasp, she drops from the web entirely, tethered by a safety line. Here too, the web makes the decision. The tension pattern tells her whether it's better to fight or flee. The question, does the web think for the spider, becomes more than metaphor. In a sense, cognition here is distributed. The spider's nervous system extends beyond its body through mechanical coupling with silk. Each tremor that reaches her legs carries pre-processed information shaped by the web's physical properties. In human terms, it's as if your fingertips could not only feel a vibration, but instantly calculate its source, distance, and cause, because your environment itself was doing half the thinking. The widow has turned physics into an ally, outsourcing perception to material science. And yet this sophistication hides beneath a reputation of simple menace. To most, the Black Widow is a symbol, fear distilled into a small, glossy form. But her danger to humans is largely exaggerated. Bites are rare, defensive, and almost never fatal. Her true power lies not in aggression, but in precision, in how she has refined her existence into a near-perfect feedback system of input and response. Every thread in her web is a neuron, every vibration a thought. The result is an organism that functions less like an animal and more like a living instrument, tuned to the frequencies of survival. At dawn, dew settles again across the silk, refracting the first light into tiny prisms. The widow retreats to the underside of a leaf, her red hourglass now just a dim ember in the pale glow. A stray beetle blunders into the web, sending a faint signal down the line. The vibrations reach her, whispering their meaning. Too heavy, not worth it. The spider remains still. The beetle thrashes, eventually frees itself, and drops to the ground. The system worked, energy conserved, risk avoided. In that stillness lies the answer. The Black Widow does not think in the way we do, yet she inhabits a body that extends into the world, a body that feels, calculates, and decides through silk and tension. Her intelligence is environmental, embodied in structure, as much about the geometry of the web as the neurons in her head. So yes, the web thinks, not with mind but with matter. It computes in tremors, stores knowledge in tension, and translates chaos into pattern. It is the spider's second brain, woven in protein and geometry, whispering through the night. In the deep interior of the Amazon night, silence has a weight. The air hangs motionless beneath the towering buttress roots and tangled understory, a cathedral of vapor and decay where every breath seems to vibrate with unseen life. Among the forest's most patient hunters lies a creature that commands this silence, not with noise or motion, but with absolute stillness. The bushmaster. the largest venomous snake in the Americas. A serpent that redefines what it means to wait and what it means to strike. At rest, it's nearly invisible, a sculpted pattern of bark and shadow, each scale dull in texture but luminous under faint moonlight, forming a camouflage so intricate that even trained eyes miss it at arm's length. The bushmaster's body stretches longer than a man, its girth like a thick branch fallen and forgotten. It waits coiled but relaxed, head raised slightly, heat-sensing pits open to the dark. Every fiber of its physiology is tuned to a single purpose: the efficient delivery of one of the most potent venoms on land. Yet paradoxically, this predator's defining trait is restraint. When prey passes, a rat, a small opossum, or sometimes even a ground-dwelling bird, the snake's strike is not reckless. It is measured, economic. The fangs unfold like surgical instruments, long enough to pierce armor that would turn away smaller vipers. In less than a tenth of a second, the bushmaster commits, injecting a dose calibrated not to kill immediately, but to guarantee collapse. And then it lets go. The prey flees, stumbling into the dark, venom working invisibly. The bushmaster does not pursue. Instead, it waits again, coiled and still, reading the earth through its tongue. Its strike is over in an instant. Its patience resumes for hours. To the untrained observer, this behavior might seem wasteful. Why risk losing a meal? But for the bushmaster, the strike and release strategy is one of survival's most elegant solutions. Many snakes hold on to their prey, wrestling through claws, teeth, or scales, exposing themselves to bites and scratches in return. The bushmaster learned long ago that distance is safety. Its venom is not just a weapon, but an investment, an expendable asset that allows it to outsource danger. The poison will finish what the snake does not need to. It liquefies tissue, sabotages the cardiovascular system, and unravels the delicate equilibrium of life until the prey's movements stop altogether. Only when the chemical work is done does the bushmaster move again, following the scent trail of its victim through damp leaves and soil until it finds the lifeless body. This is predation as economics, risk minimized, profit maximized. Venom is costly to produce. Every molecule takes time and energy, built from proteins and enzymes that the snake cannot afford to waste. But the equation balances. By avoiding physical conflict, the bushmaster conserves energy that would otherwise be spent in a dangerous struggle. When it feeds safely. The expensive bite becomes, in the long view, the cheapest possible meal. What makes the bushmaster's strategy particularly remarkable is its ability to tackle prey that others cannot. Its fangs, among the longest of any viper, exceeding 3 centimeters, can penetrate through fur, feathers, or even the light scale armor of other reptiles. Many forest predators, from ocelots to caimans, avoid heavily protected or spiny prey because the energy-to-risk ratio is poor. But for the bushmaster, those same defenses are irrelevant. Its fangs act like hypodermic needles, sliding past surface protection to deliver venom deep into tissue, where blood flow ensures rapid distribution. In experimental setups with model prey, fur, feathers, or scales over ballistic gel, bushmasters succeed in full venom delivery where smaller vipers achieve only partial penetration. Each strike, when slowed by high-speed footage, reveals an artistry of biomechanics. The head snaps forward, guided by coiled muscles and a spring-like backbone that stores tension as potential energy. The jaws open in an impossible arc, rotating to extend the fangs like switchblades. Upon impact, the bushmaster's skull absorbs recoil, preventing self-injury, while the venom glands compress in perfect synchrony with fang entry. Then, release. The recoil propels the snake backward, resetting the distance even before the prey reacts. It is the serpent's equivalent of a sniper's shot, one lethal gesture, followed by withdrawal into cover. Scientists studying radio-tagged bushmasters in the field have discovered just how disciplined this system is. Using tiny transmitters implanted in prey animals, researchers have traced the snake's post-strike behavior. The predator waits on average 20 to 30 minutes before moving, depending on the prey's size and ambient temperature. Cooler conditions slow venom action, prolonging the wait. Warmer ones accelerate it. The snake doesn't pursue blindly. It moves only when its tongue detects the faint chemical traces of metabolic breakdown, the smell of dying cells, lactic acid, stress hormones. Those are the signs of profit realized. Yet there is another dimension to this strategy, one that reshapes our understanding of snake intelligence. The bushmaster's decisions are not automatic reflexes, but context-dependent judgments. It can modulate venom volume based on prey size, delivering partial doses to small victims and full injections to larger or more armored ones. This precision shows a form of optimization we rarely credit to reptiles. It is evolution written in fluid logic. Conserve when possible, spend only when necessary, and never risk what you cannot replace. In the larger ecology of the rainforest floor, this behavior grants the bushmaster a unique niche. It is both apex predator and recycler. The animals it strikes, often rodents and marsupials, are key dispersers of seeds and fungi. By selectively removing certain individuals, the bushmaster subtly shapes the forest's regeneration pattern, altering which trees and plants dominate over time. Even in death, its influence ripples outward. Scavengers feed on the remains it leaves behind. The venom itself becomes part of the nutrient flow, broken down by bacteria and soil enzymes. The question, when is an expensive bite also safest, is answered here with evolutionary clarity, when that expense buys freedom from contact. The bushmaster's venom is a security deposit, a guarantee that its meal will come to it rather than the other way around. It's the apex logic of low-risk predation, refined in a world where even the hunter can become the hunted. Large snakes attract the attention of jaguars, tigers, and even human collectors. Each unnecessary struggle invites noise and exposure. The most dangerous predator in the jungle is also one of its quietest. If we imagine the rainforest as a financial market of energy transactions, where every calorie must be earned, every injury repaid, the bushmaster emerges as a conservative investor. It trades venom for certainty, patience for safety. In evolutionary terms, it's the ultimate low-frequency predator, rare, deliberate, devastating. At dawn, when the forest exhales mist into the first shafts of sunlight, the bushmaster remains unseen beneath the leaf litter. Its coils are hidden beneath ferns, its scales damp with condensation. Somewhere in the dark, a rat lies still, blood turned viscous by the chemistry of the serpent's bite. The bushmaster glides toward it soundlessly, tongue flicking, tracing the scent of conclusion. There is no chase, no fury, no drama, only the slow arithmetic of survival playing out in perfect equilibrium. Its meal complete, the snake settles once more into shadow. The forest moves on above it, none the wiser. Evolution's greatest predators are not those who fight hardest, but those who have learned when not to fight at all. For the bushmaster, the venom that costs the most is the same venom that guarantees it will live to strike again.